a child's pose. So when you are ready, making your way somewhere towards the middle or towards the back of your mat. Take your knees as wide as you'd like. Bring your big toes to touch. And then just take a moment to rest your head down, either on the mat, or you can stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. Maybe you want to slide your block under there as well. And then just allow your eyes to close. And throughout this class, there's going to be some moments where I ask you or I encourage you to close your eyes. And I am asking you that because I really want you to just tune in and feel your body as opposed to trying to create a shape that you see, trying to create something that you've seen either in front of you on your screen or something that you think you should be doing. I want you to just do what feels good for you today and follow along with what your body's telling you rather than what you think you should be doing. So I'm going to meet you in your child's pose. Taking a few more deep breaths here. Feeling the mat beneath you. Feeling where your body's at this morning. What maybe feels a little bit tight. What might feel open. Notice where your mind is at this morning. Are you like me and already trying to plan your day? Already trying to cross things off your to-do list? Or are you able to just take this time to be here? Giving yourself this time this morning to move, to connect. Connecting a little bit deeper with your breath, make it a little bit stronger. Really filling up the lungs, feeling your ribcage expand. And then emptying the lungs, feeling your ribcage contract. Take a couple more really deep breaths, just tuning into the sound, to the sensation. And then on your next inhale, try to keep your eyes closed as you rise up into a tabletop position. Again, just feel your tabletop with your eyes closed, your fingers spread wide, your shoulders above your wrists, your hips above your knees. And then start to move with your breath. So maybe you start to move into a bit of cat-cow. Following the breath as you start to warm up your body. Maybe you start to make some circles through the spine. Maybe you make some waves with the spine, whatever feels good for you right now. There's no right or wrong. Like I said, with the eyes closed, you're just starting to check in with what feels good for you, not doing what you think you should do, not trying to mimic a shape, and just listening to your own body. Giving yourself what you need, moving as fast or as slow as you like. And then over the next couple rounds of breath, try to keep your eyes closed as you start to make your way into a downward facing dog. So just gently, slowly, mindfully tucking the toes under. And taking your time as you send the hips up and back. And see if you can keep your eyes closed and keep moving in your downward dog. Again, just moving in any way that feels good for you, any way that you need right now. And if downward dog is ever too much, you can always come back to a tabletop position. Just taking a few more breaths. Again, maybe you're moving or maybe you found stillness. Wherever you are, begin to slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Maybe the eyes are still closed. You can blink them open at any point. Taking a forward fold at the back of the mat. Keep swaying a little side to side. And gently just letting the head be heavy. Maybe the head moves side to side, up and down. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. Really just letting the weight of the upper body sink closer to the floor. Releasing through the spine, through the neck, through the shoulders, through the jaw. And then slowly coming into stillness. We'll take a breath in, lengthen the spine halfway, hands to thighs or shins. As you breathe out, take a forward fold. One more time, just like that. Lengthen the spine as you inhale, hands to thighs or shins. As you exhale, fold. Next inhale, slowly rise all the way up, rooting down into the feet, reaching your arms all the way overhead. Take a tiny back bend, lift the chest, hips slightly forward. And then as you exhale, gently fold all the way back down. Once you're down, crawl forward into your downward facing dog. And then gently take your knees onto the mat. So you are back into your tabletop position, stacking the joints. We're going to start to warm up the hips a little bit. So you're taking that right knee and you'll just start to make some nice big circles with the right knee. Keeping it bent. As you just imagine you're drawing a nice smooth circle with the knee. Your right foot can either be flexed or pointed, whatever it is, just keep it active. And then we will switch directions of the circle, moving it around in the opposite way. You're pushing the floor away from you. Then once you've evened it out, or roughly evened it out, you'll step your right foot up between your hands. So setting up for a low lunge. Feet are about hip width apart. And then you'll just begin to shift forward and back. Bending and straightening the right knee. And if you're not very warmed up, if you maybe just got out of bed or if you're feeling a little tight, then just be super mindful. The movement doesn't have to be very big. You can walk the hands along either side of the leg for some more support. We'll meet back in a low lunge, bending into the right knee. Take a moment to really root through that right heel, pressing it down into the floor and start to rise all the way up. Arms overhead, hips reach forward and down. And take a few breaths here as you lengthen through both sides of the waist. Reaching the left hip forward and the right hip back. Take a nice full inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands down. Keep rooting into that right heel and pull the hips back. So lengthen the right leg. If you have a block, you might want it to bring the floor a little closer to you, or you can come up onto the fingertips. Flexing the right foot, but keep pressing the heel down, pulling the hips back. And now we'll begin to walk the hands forward, bend into your right knee. Right foot really presses down, back knee lifts. Hands walk forward a little as you lift the left toes, and then cross your left leg behind your right. So the legs are crossed, bending the knees as much as you need to, and just folding here, letting the head hang heavy. Pressing into both feet. Feeling the stretch through the backs of the legs, maybe into the outer hips as well. And begin to walk the hands forward so you can shift all the weight into your right foot. Left leg lifts high. Make a big circle. So circle it all the way around to the left. And then the left foot lands underneath of the hip. Inhale to lengthen the spine halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, palms touch. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Take a breath in, reach high. As you exhale, fold, soften the knees. Inhale, find length and space in the spine. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands down, take a big step back into plank. You can choose from knees or toes, lower down to the mat. Inhale, lift your chest, little cobra, shoulders down. And as you exhale, send the hips back and up into your downward facing dog. Take another moment or two to pedal this one out, maybe to close the eyes again, to feel your fingers press down, your hips lift high. And then slowly walk your hands back again towards your feet, forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. One more time like that. Feel the legs and the core get strong as you lengthen. And soften as you fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead. Hips press forward if it feels good to take a little back bend. And exhale, slowly melt all the way back down. Once you're down, crawl forward into your downward facing dog. And then drop the knees down underneath of your hips. Back to your tabletop position. We're coming into the other side. So keeping the left knee bent, just start to circle it around. Again, you're either pointing or flexing the left foot. Try and keep it active. Can you press evenly into both hands, into all of the fingertips? We will switch directions of the circle and feel yourself push the floor away, creating a little bit more space to maybe make a bigger circle with the knee. And then we'll step the left foot up as high as you can, eventually between the hands, bending into the left knee, and then pulling the hips back. So just moving forward and back, nice and gently and slowly on this side, seeing how it feels. Maybe here you also want to close the eyes. And rather than trying to mimic whatever shape you see on your screen, trying to feel the shape in your body. We'll meet back in the low lunge. Left heel really roots down. Hug the inner thighs together. Reach the arms overhead. Again, feel length through both sides of the waist. Right hip presses forward. Left hip pulls back. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, hands float down. Keep pressing into the left heel. Pull the hips back. Left leg long, toes can lift high. Again, maybe you want your block to bring the floor a little closer to you. Try to stay long through the spine. Active through the front left leg. Can you feel the thigh pulling up? Slowly walk the hands forward, bend into the left knee. Right toes tuck, right knee lifts. Walk the hands forward so you can lift your right toes high. And then cross your right leg behind your left. Feet can be close together, or there can be a bit of space in between the feet. Allow the knees to bend. Let your head drop. Couple big breaths here. Press into both feet. Relax the shoulders, the jaw. And then begin to walk the hands forward. Start to lift the right leg high. Make a big circle all the way around to the right. And softly land your foot underneath of your hip. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale to rise all the way up, arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale again, reach up, keep moving, keep breathing. Exhale and fold. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, fold, spread the fingers wide, big step back into your plank. Again, knees or toes, you choose. Keep the elbows close as you lower down to the mat. Inhale, chest lifts up, cobra, or maybe you straighten the arms, lift the thighs, upward dog. Exhale, your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Again, always taking a moment here in our downward dog to just reset, to check in. What's still tight, what's opening up? What do we need to be mindful of? Slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat. This time as we inhale, lengthen, hold your halfway lift. Fingertips very light, either on the shins or the thighs. You're gazing down so the back of the neck is long. Tiny little bend in the knees. Weight shifts forward to the toes. Feel the kneecaps and the thighs lift, the core lift as well. So strong. On your next exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale to rise all the way up. Sweep the arms overhead. Again, little back bend if you choose. Exhale, fold all the way down. Once your hands meet the floor, walk it out into your dog. And then you can either stay in your dog or make your way into your tabletop. We'll take the right leg up again, so we're adding on to our little sequence, bending the right knee. Allow your hip to open and then begin to circle that right knee around. Whether you're in your downward dog or your tabletop, you're pushing the floor away, feeling the fingers plug down into the mat. That right foot is active, whether it's flexed or pointed. Switch directions of the circles, make them slow, make them bigger. Feel the movement, feel your body begin to open. Feel your breath. Now once it's roughly evened out, you'll step your right foot out wide this time to the outside of the right hand. You can drop the left knee down onto the mat. Right heel is in, toes are out. Hips press forward and down so you're here in a wide dragon lunge. Again, hips reach forward and down, reach the heart forward. Take a few big breaths. You can stay here if you'd like, or if you're feeling open, you can bring your forearms down onto the mat, or you can always use your prop at any level to bring the floor a little closer to you. If you'd like, you can shift a bit forward and back. If that feels funny on the back knee, you can tuck the back toes and lift the left knee. Again, still maybe shifting or maybe being in stillness. Now is another good time to close your eyes, to tune inwards, to feel your body. Feel where it is. Ask yourself what you need. Take a couple breaths in stillness if you're not already there. And then bring your hands onto the mat underneath of your shoulders and pull the hips back, lengthening the right leg. So the right foot is out nice and wide in this wide half splits. Reach the heart forward, reach the hips back. Again, you're active through that right foot. Imagine you're dragging your heel to the back of the mat. Slowly crawl the hands forward, bend into the right knee, back toes tuck, back knee lifts. You're taking a big step up into a squat. Heels in, toes out, begin to bend the knees. So feet can be hip width or a little wider, as wide as you need. Toes turned out a little, knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. Hands might stay on the floor. You might shift a little side to side in this first squat to warm up the hips. One of my favorite things to do in the morning is a squat. Feels good to lengthen through the low back, to open up the hips. When you're ready, come into stillness. You might bring your palms together, hands to your heart, and feel that length in the spine as you reach the tailbone down, the heart high. Now press into the outer edges of your feet. Take a big breath in, stand all the way up, palms touch. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, bend the knees, slowly lower all the way back down. Again, inhale, reach all the way up, straighten the legs, palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart as you bend the knees. This time, reach it up, arms overhead, little squeeze of the glutes. Keep the legs straight as you bring your hands to your heart, and then step the feet together. Take an inhale, reach high. Exhale and fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands. Option if you want to flow, you can flow or step back into your downward dog or take any variation along the way. Choose your journey into your downward facing dog. Pause there. Again, reset, check in, close the eyes. And then slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Again, you hold here in your halfway lift. Feel the kneecaps lift, the thighs contract, pulling the rib cage in, lifting belly button to spine, back of the neck long. On your next exhale, fold, soften. Inhale, rise all the way up. Again, optional little back bend, lift the heart high. And exhale, fold slowly all the way back down. Once you're down, crawl it out into your downward facing dog. Again, if you need tabletop, feel free to take it. Either way, lift the left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip, and then circle the left knee around a few times in one direction. Hips stay lifted, spine is long, hugging the outer arms in towards each other. Switching directions if you haven't already. Can you make this one just as smooth and as even as the first way? All right, once you've evened it out, step your left foot out wide to the outside of the left hand. Heel in, toes out. Right knee drops down. Reaching hips forward and down. Big angle from front heel to back knee. Reaching the heart forward. You can stay here. You can lower down to forearms. You can use your block. Whatever you like. Check in with where you need to be. Then close your eyes. And just breathe. Take a moment to feel where your body is. And then slowly begin to lift your head. Bring your hands under your shoulders if they're not already there. Pull the hips back. Left toes can lift. Adjust where you need your hands to be. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the back of the neck just like your halfway lift. Feel long through the back of the neck. Strong through the left leg. Begin to walk the hands forward, bend into your left knee, right toes tuck. Lift the right knee, and then take a big step into your squat. Again, heels in, toes out. Adjust what you need to adjust. Once you land there, you might move a little side to side. And you might come into stillness. Pressing into your feet. Feeling the weight shift back into your heels as you reach your heart towards your thumbs, maybe using your elbows gently against your knees. All right, let's take a big breath in. Start to press into the feet, straighten the legs, arms overhead. And as you exhale, lower back down, big bend in the knees, hands to your heart. 2 more. Inhale, reach all the way up. Squeeze the glutes, palms touch. Exhale, lower hands to your heart as you bend the knees. This last one, we just come all the way up. Arms overhead. Keep the legs straight, bring your hands to your heart, and step your feet together. Inhale to reach back up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen space in the spine. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. We're making our way into dog, but again, you can choose how you want to get there. Maybe you flow. Maybe you step back, maybe you jump back. Once you're in your downward dog, close the eyes, take a breath. Slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Inhale to lengthen the spine, hold your halfway lift. Again, fingertips either very lightly on the thighs or the shins, or maybe you take your hands onto your hips this time. Really feel the thighs engage, the core lift, reaching the center of your chest forward. On your next exhale, fold, let go. Inhale to rise all the way up, hips forward a little, heart high. And exhale to fold all the way back down. Once you're down, walk it out into your dog. And this time we'll lift the right leg up. Bend the knee, let your hip open. You can definitely stay here if you'd like, or you can look to the floor behind you underneath of your left arm and see if you can land your right toes onto the floor. Coming into your wild thing, press the heart and the hips high. If you're in your wild thing, take a big circle around with the right arm. Moving in one direction. And then slowly switching directions. Keep lifting the hips up, pushing the floor away with the left hand. Once you've completed that second circle, the right hand lands down, the right foot steps up. Coming into a high lunge for a moment, arms overhead, big bend in the right knee. And then we open up into warrior two. So back foot flat. Arms parallel. Press into the feet, hug the inner thighs together. Feel a little lift in the core, in the low belly. Now flip the right palm and reverse, reach up and back. Left hand slides lightly down the left leg. Let's try with the breath. Come back to warrior two. Inhale to reverse, reach up and back. Exhale, warrior two. Keep moving with your own breath. Maybe now again you close the eyes, you feel your body, feeling what it needs right now as opposed to trying to recreate a shape that you see. You're noticing how you feel, what parts of you are working, what parts of you can soften. Let's do one more. Moving with your own breath. It's okay if you're not at the same pace as me. Meeting in warrior two, straighten the front leg and then turn the left toes out so they point to the back corner of the mat. Arms reach overhead, palms together. Begin to bend into that back left knee as you bring your hands to your heart. You can bring your hands to the floor if you'd like, or keep them at your heart as you make your way into your surfer's lunge, your skandasana. So the right leg is long and strong, squeezing the thigh, lifting the heart high, keeping the spine long. If there's a variation of this posture that feels good for you, you might want to take a twist, reach up. You might want to stay, and you might even try closing your eyes here. Challenging to balance a little bit. Feeling your body adjust. Bring the hands to the floor. If they're not already there, straighten both legs. Line up the heels, turn the toes in a little. Spine is long as you fold over the legs. Press into the outer edges of your feet. Your wide-legged forward fold, you want to protect your hamstrings by contracting the thighs. Reaching your heart towards the floor, maybe using your block if the floor feels far away. Take a couple nice big breaths all down the back of the body. And then slowly begin to lengthen the spine. Walk your hands forward. Frame your front foot. All the toes pointing to the top of the mat. Keep your legs as straight as you can here. Inhale to lift the back heel high. Exhale to press it down. Lift the front toes. Inhale again. Front toes lower, back heel lift. And exhale, switch. So you're just rocking back and forth. Again, taking as much bend in your knees as you need to, but try to keep them straight if you can. And we will meet back with the weight shifted forward, right foot pressing down. Slowly walk the hands forward, lift the left leg high for a standing splits. As light as you can on those fingertips. Point the back toes, squeeze the thighs. Hug the inner thighs together. Maybe you bring your right hand to your right ankle. Maybe you bring your left hand to your right ankle. Rooting down into that standing right leg. Reaching your chest towards your thigh, focusing one point more on the floor, maybe at your toes. If you're grabbing onto your ankles, slowly release hands back to the floor. Make your way into a fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment here, allow the eyes to close, rest your thumbs against your heart. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your body warm, awake, alive. On your next inhale, reach your arms overhead. We'll make our way through our last round together. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, big step back or flow. Making your way into your downward dog. Choose how you want to get there. Make it your own, make it feel good for you. Once you are in your downward facing dog, again, close the eyes, pause, check in. Slowly walk your hands towards your feet, back of the mat. Find that halfway lift. Last time you hold here. Again, hands can be light on the legs or the hips, or maybe you reach your arms long this time. If you're feeling any sort of pain or pinching in the low back, find more support and strength in the core. Reach the heart forward, spine is long, legs are strong. On your next exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale to rise up into your little back bend if that feels right for you. And exhale, fold all the way down. Walk your hands out into your dog. Taking the left leg up. Bend the knee. Stay here if you'd like, or look underneath of your right arm. See if you can flip over into Wild Thing. Left toes land behind you. Lift the hips, lift the heart. Take one big circle with the left arm in one direction. Take your time. Once you've completed that circle, switch directions. Keep pushing the floor away from you with the parts of you touching the floor. Once you've completed that circle, the left hand lands under the shoulder, the left foot steps up. Take a moment in your high lunge, arms reach overhead, root into the feet, and then spin open warrior two, back foot flat, arms parallel. Big bend in the left knee, press into the outer edge of your right foot, and then we'll reverse. Left palm flips, reach up and back, lift the heart high, and come back to the center. And just start to move with your breath, reaching up and back. And warrior two. Maybe the eyes close again. And you connect with you, with what you feel, what sensations you're feeling in your body, how your breath feels. Take a couple more. We will meet back in warrior two. Straighten the left leg. Right toes turn to the back corner of your mat, arms overhead, palms touch, and then lower your hands to your heart as you bend into that back right knee. Hips reach down. You can take hands to the floor. You can keep hands at your heart. You can lower your hips all the way to your right heel. Left leg stays strong. If it feels all right, you can lift those left toes. So many options. So many different bodies. That's why I keep reminding you to not just try and mimic the shape on the screen. Try and feel what you need. Maybe you close the eyes here. Challenge your balance. Maybe you take a twist, opening wide. Maybe you stay right where you are. Maybe there's another option that you'd like to play with. Let's take hands to the floor. Straighten the right leg, both legs straight. Turn the toes in, heels in one line, and then walk the hands out into your wide-legged fold. Reaching the chest down, maybe bringing forearms to the mat, maybe seeing if you can grab your ankles or your heels, maybe stepping on your fingers. Keep reaching the chest down, keeping the spine long. Feel the weight shift towards your toes. Your thighs really squeeze. And then find length in the spine. Pivot to face the top of the mat, all the toes pointing forward, back heel lifts. Come up onto your fingertips. Inhale to rock the weight forward, lift the back heel. Exhale to rock it back, lift the front toes. Couple more, shifting forward and back. Let the head just drop, let it hang heavy. And we will meet back with the weight forward, pressing into the left foot. You can take a tiny bend in the left leg as you walk the hands forward and reach your right toes high. For your standing splits, contract both thighs, hug the inner thighs together, find one point to focus. Reach your chest towards your left leg. Maybe you take left hand to the left ankle. Maybe you take right hand to the left ankle and then pull your chest a little closer as you lengthen the spine. Remind yourself it's okay to fall if you do. Even if you don't, it's still okay to fall. Slowly walk the hands forward. Land your right foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Lengthen as you inhale and fold as you exhale. And rise all the way up. Palms touch. Bring your hands to your heart. Again, just stay here for a breath or two. Close the eyes, relax the shoulders. Take a few big breaths. Heart beating strong. What else do you feel? Next inhale, reach your arms all the way overhead. Exhale, fold. Lengthen, last time. And fold. Hands plant, either you step back into your dog or you take your final little journey to it. Choosing how you want to get there, making it feel good, giving yourself what you need. From your downward dog, lower your knees down to the mat. Lower everything down to the mat. We'll come into a Sphinx pose. Sliding forearms onto the mat, shoulder width apart. Let's keep the legs active. So you're pressing into the tops of your feet, toes pointing straight back. Kneecaps lift, thighs contract. Heart lifts high. Maybe you drop the head. So you're actively trying to create this back bend in your spine, but just letting the neck relax. Maybe it feels good to let your head roll a little side to side. Maybe you stay in stillness. Wherever you are, make your breath a little deeper. Keep pushing the floor away with your forearms. For the last few breaths, you can either stay in your Sphinx or you can take it into a seal, taking your hands out to either corner of your mat and then gently pressing into the hands. Keep the toes reaching back, the legs strong. If it's too much to straighten the arms, you can have a soft bend in the elbows. Lifting your chest, sliding your shoulder blades down your back. A couple more big rounds of breath wherever you are in your Sphinx or your seal. And then when you're ready, you can lower all the way down onto your forearms. If you're not already there, stack your hands and rest your forehead on the tops of your hands. And just allow your head to be heavy to rest on your hands. Allow your whole body to sink into the floor. Releasing through the legs, through the hips, the feet, the shoulders. And begin to slowly lift your head. We will come into a broken wing. So take your right arm out to the side like a wing. Left hand under the left shoulder and start to roll towards your right hand side. You can either stack the legs or you can step your left foot behind like a little kickstand. Maybe allowing the head to rest on the floor or on your left hand. And just take a few breaths up and down your spine, enjoying this little twist, this little back bend. Opening up through the chest, through the shoulder, through the hip. We did a lot of folding forward, a lot of lengthening the back side of the body. So can you feel the front side open, especially through the front of the left hip? Nice and slowly, just at your own pace, start to roll back onto your front side and then make your way to the other side. Left arm long, right hand under the right shoulder, slowly roll to the left side. Again, legs can be stacked or you can step your right foot behind. Relax through the head, through the neck. Maybe that means resting your head on the floor or on the top of your right hand. Feeling the stretch again through the shoulder, the chest. And with your eyes closed, you notice where you feel it. Where else in your body do you feel that sensation? Where are you feeling resistance? Where are you feeling acceptance? And nice and slowly, when you're ready, again, you'll just roll back onto your front side. We'll stack the hands one more time. Rest the forehead on the hands, eyes closed, whole body sinking into the floor. And at your own pace, any way you'd like to get there, we'll make our way onto our backs. So either just flipping over, or if you want to take like a little child's pose and swing the legs around. However feels good for you. Once you're on your back, take a few moments to give yourself what you need. Again, without worrying about what I'm doing, and just checking in with what feels good for you. Giving yourself these last few moments of movement. And just making it your own. You know your body best. You know what you need. And when you feel ready, when you feel complete with your movement, making your way into your final savasana. But there's no rush. If you're still moving, then that is wonderful. If you're ready for stillness, that is also wonderful. taking a few moments to take whatever shape feels right. Maybe that's feet together, knees wide. Maybe it's feet wide, knees together. Maybe it's legs long. The options are endless. So once you've landed in your shape that feels right for you, allow your eyes to close for this final posture, this one last time. And this practice really helping us to tune in, to check in with what we need. And ultimately that brings a little bit more connection to ourselves. And hopefully when we feel more connected to ourselves, we know who we are. We can share that with others. We can connect better with others. Especially now, when connection is something that we are all looking for, that we all, most of us, feel like we're missing. Remind yourself that you still can feel connected to yourself. And by doing this practice, whether it is online or in person or live or recorded, hopefully it brings you whatever you need. Hopefully you feel ready to take on your day, ready to move forward with some purpose and intention, and share this connection with everybody that you meet on the street or on the internet. I'm going to leave you here to enjoy your Savasana. Thank you for everybody who popped in, for everybody who's still here. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.